Back, I'm back in bone. I'm back in bone. I'm back in bongo.
Baba back, Baba bloody back in Bongo. Baba back, Baba bloody back in Bongo. I want you to hold it between your bongo knees.
Oh, what's that? Yes, hello. I'm ready for you. Are you ready, gentlemen? Yes, please, Bongo Butler. What do you have for us today? Well, here we have Simpsons comic episode 6. When was that? When did that come out, Bongo Butler? I believe it came out in 1999, or possibly 1994, more likely, to be honest. I haven't really done my homework. Cover, as always, drawn by S. Vance, with a fake Matt Groening name on there.
His lovely wife, Cindy.
And his lovely wife, Cindy. Contains the stories Bebop Alisa and the backup story, Chief Wiggum's Pre-Code, Crime Comics, El Barto, True Tales,
Fantastic.
the end of El Barto. Nathan, I'm going to pass it over to you. Bye, I'll see you later. Thanks, Bongo Butler. See you next time.
See you later, BB. I have no frame of reference
For this comic,
for anything. I just I see you, and that is all.
I see you, Jimmy. I see you, Jimmy. Here we go. Bongo comic episode 6 from issue 6
From 1994 and
from
1999.
I believe the reprint was from 1999, but the original was from 1994. You can buy it on eBay for a mere £15.96.
That is what we did.
That is indeed
That
what
is
we did.
how we can read this image today.
Exactly.
I probably have all of these issues in the house somewhere, so it's not really cheating.
Oh, absolutely. But you ask, what's the intended audience? And of course, it is the general audience.
Oh, yes.
It's looking like a fun romp. Shall we jump right into it? Do you want to describe the cover and give us some context for this bong tent?
Let's do it. So we have Lisa and Otto, who is getting his second big comic role in the space of 5 or 6 issues, which is very interesting. And they are rocking out, or jazzing out, depending on the instrument, in front of a crowd that contains simply the Simpsons family, even the baby.
Even the baby, and they're
Lisa-
all rocking out.
And Lisa looks sort of sad to be rocking out.
No,
In her
that's a
eyes.
mournful jazz face, and Otto's got kind of the Jimi Hendrix kind of like guitar face.
His eyes are spitting.
It's an awful cover. I think it's the
It's
worst
not.
cover so far.
Yeah, it's not interesting, and it is also not, for the first time, I think, not a reference to something
Well,
specifically.
I was looking and I couldn't see it being a reference to anything, and also it doesn't even really give us much of a hint of the story, unless, of course, it is that Lisa plays some jazz music with Otto, which surely that's not a good story.
No, considering we're 6 issues in and we're here already, it's not a good it's not a good start for this issue.
No. But let's hope it gets better from this point in. So the comic opens with Edna Krabappel about to get it on in a very nicely drawn, nicely rendered set of pictures with groundskeeper Willie. Oh, Willie, how I've longed for this moment, she said, and me as well, Edna. Tell me, darling, what is that intoxicating scent as we get a close-up on their faces? 'Tis mule sweat, lassie, a manly odor, aye. Manly, yes, but I like it too. Ha ha.
Do you think Groundskeeper Willie's nose looks particularly huge?
It does. It's a semi-abstract picture, but it's actually a beautiful set of images. But it is
Reveal.
a reveal. It is a reveal. Tell us more.
It is a reveal, one of which I knew was coming, actually, and we are absolutely robbed of a mod there. Slap bang in the first row. Millhouse is completely covering what would be a mod.
And do we never get that reveal later? Does that we never see the crowd again? I guess not.
No, I imagine if we'll have seen her at this point if she's going to be in it. Let's be real
Let's be
here.
having you.
It is revealed that it is actually Bart Simpson is playing Skinner with the wig and everything.
Yeah.
Millhouse is playing Groundskeeper Willie, and it looks particularly exceptional.
It's a
And that,
absolutely brilliant image of Millhouse dressed as groundskeeper Willie. That is a
and I would like to
t-shirt.
see it. Yes, it certainly is. I would like to see it next to that image of Willie dressed as Millhouse when he's making fun of him.
Oh,
Those two things will be beautifully
on screen right now.
symbiotic. Look at me, I'm Millhouse. I tuck my shirt into my underpants. I've got no friends, so I confide in Willie. Possibly the best groundskeeper Willie line.
Anyway, continue.
And almost unbelievably, it seems Richard, the friend Richard, is dressed as Edna Krabappel here,
Yeah.
not one of the more major children, which is nice. Richard gasps and says Principal Skinner, and Willie Millhouse says, "Ack, mind your own business," but in Scottish. You doily making mama's boy. Also, the crowd. They are performing to a crowd at the Springfield Elementary Talent Show, which is quite funny.
Yeah.
The two most notable things in the crowd are Homer and Luann, in that they
Yes.
have actual specific reactions to this, which is great. Homer is finding it very funny, and Luann is horrified.
That is also an awesome Luan right there.
Yes. And Ned is simply just staring into the middle distance because none of his children are part of this.
No, staring basically at the gun by the looks of it.
You can kind of see his wife's hand.
I'm assuming that's his wife's hand. Who's this
He is like,
librarian?
yeah, kind of a librarian or old files knower. I think he might be some sort of town hall file man as well.
Who's this?
There's a giant mole man. And then the rest seem to be that might be an attempt at Lionel Hutz in the front row, but I don't think so.
No, that's my good friend Colin. Anyway, we it's a beautiful splash page. Bebop Elisa sets us up for even more musical shenanigans. As always, Bill Morrison, script and pencils. Vance on the editing, Cindy Vance on the colours, and we got Tim Babington on the inks with head roadie, which basically means he did nothing at all. Matt
Yes.
Groening.
It's a great team, and I wonder how many issues we have this dream team for. 'Cause I can see it lasting.
Morrison and Vance.
Yeah, could be the entire run for
It
all we
could
know.
well be. Could well be for all we know. That's one thing we've got. But we cut to Bart, Skinner Bart, and he shouts, "You leave mother out of this!" And he fires his gun at Millhouse Willie and shouts, "Eat hot lead tractor, man!" Willie screams. Richard screams. Willie falls to the ground. "Never clap another man's eraser, Willie," says Skinner, in a line which absolutely perfectly could be Skinner.
Yeah, the whole thing, they've done a very good job of replicating, like, this would win the talent show if it wasn't insulting.
This would win every talent show, wouldn't it? Oh God, it's gone. And we hear a voice shouting, "Simpson." It's a close-up on a mouth. We got to assume it's Skinner. Oh, says Bart. Death wears a toupee, a mocking melodrama starring Bart Millhouse and Richard, which makes much more sense when you then zoom in to see that Skinner is indeed bald and toupee-less, I repeat, and Willie and Edna are also storming in. This travesty has gone on long enough. Travesty, I'm flattered it was only intended as a mockery. Exit stage left, boys. I believe stage left is the side that villains exit from.
Nice. And what is the burr? Or is that just being pursued by? Is that not a direction?
Where is
That's
there
a famous.
which
It's
one?
a Shakespeare thing, isn't it? The exit pursued by a burr.
Oh yeah.
But it is not exit left.
Did we know Skinner wore a wig?
Well, it brings me on to an interesting point that they seem to, particularly comics and very early Simpsons merch,
Yeah.
reference Skinner having a toupee all the time.
Right.
But I think they must have done something with it in like season 1.
Okay.
So they used it as like a particularly Skinner specific reference quite a lot. But then it kind of, as did most season 1 or 2 things, just sort of go away. He's not even Principal Skinner if we want to go into it too deeply.
Yeah.
But yeah, so they did one with, they did a Halloween segment where Homer got Snake's hair after he was electrocuted to death, and it made him become kind of like Snake. And that was called Hell Toupee, which is a great thing.
That is a very good one. But still, moving on, what happens on the next page?
A phenomenal Skinner facing forwards and bald, and Willie are chasing the children still. As usual, Bart has given me a tough something. He seems to have writing on his head as well. It's probably a groaning signature. As usual, Bart has given me a tough act to follow. Well, you got to pay your dues if you want to play the blues. And in the background Oh no, sorry, that was Lisa saying that in the background in a shadow.
Yes,
I
yes.
apologise. And she is stood
Apology
with
accepted.
Dewey Largo, who also says blues.
Yeah.
I think not, young lady. As a talent coordinator for the show, I'm putting a lid on your insolent bebop music. Our talent restraint board, which is great, has approved these pieces for your performance. You may choose freely between the two, of course. And then Largo hands her two pieces of music. But Mr. Largo, this music does not express my feelings, says question. What on earth do feelings have to do with music? Just get out there and play. And he shoves her onto the stage and she looks depressed that the audience is cheering.
Ah,
And now Miss Lisa Simpson will perform Hail to the Chief.
by
And she's
Radiohead.
thinking, exactly. And she's thinking, I guess I better do as Mr. Largo says as she walks onto the stage. All of us fully knowing that she is going to play jazz.
She's definitely going to do the whiplash, isn't she? She's going to do the
Yes.
whiplash, and she's just going to be like, you know what? I'm going to play the best rock and roll tune, and you can't even stop me. Although you clearly just stopped the last act, like mid-act.
Yes, and it's also they've done it like 5 or 6 times. Oh brother, is this ever lame? Says lame Lisa in her head. I shouldn't have compromised, says Cockney Watchdogs Lisa. I should have remained true to my artistic vision. I must act now while there is still time. She's all of this is in thought while she's monotonously playing Hail to the Chimp or whatever it was.
I think
And
wouldn't it be cool if the hail to the no if the I shouldn't have compromised so much was a reference to this.
it would be very cool. That would be a great thing to discover at this time. Who knows?
Yeah,
There's no reason it couldn't be.
no, no reason it must be.
Yeah, I believe this is your page.
It is, and so Lisa just absolutely rages out and shouts, "Ladies and gentlemen, there's absolutely no reason to do this song. Instead, here is Charlie Parker's Bongo Bop. Is that a real song? It is indeed.
It is.
Let's have a bit of a listen."
Hopefully, it has a little voice thing that says Spider-Man every now and again.
Well, is that a reference?
It's a reference to us.
Oh yeah. Gotta love Bird, but I'm glad Lisa's referencing him. It's the first time she's actually played some decent jazz rather than like whatever the hell that was that she played in the Jazzman tune. And she's
The
rocks.
idea that that would be controversial is quite fun.
I know it's silly, but we're in silly town right now.
Exactly.
Lisa's playing a saxophone and she says a one, a two, and she rocks out what can only be described as a bebop rock and roll solo. Blast, says Largo. That little beatnik is defying me. Lisa's absolutely rocking to the max, and he shouts, Allegro, fortissimo, code red, initiate, removal, maneuver, delta. Roger, Mr. Largo, this is it, we're going in, says his henchman from the side of the stage. They run in and they shout, I have that one. I regret that I have but one sax solo to give for my school. Music lovers take heed that fascists are pillaging our freedom. And the crowd in a reminiscent of the Helter Skelter scene from Community, like, she's right. Let's take this place apart. I do like that trope where somebody shouts a relatively mild call to arms and then they just go absolutely ape. Do you know the Community scene I'm referring to?
I cannot remember it now, but it is a very prominent Springfield thing that they do. That I like that they will just. It's usually Mo as well for some reason. It's usually Mo who has the first. Mo or Agnes have the first saying, let's destroy this, and it's just fun. Is it when what's he called? The ginger one shouts "Helter Skelter."
Yeah, he shouts
I do
Helter
remember.
Skelter.
What is his name?
I can't remember. I've forgotten it.
Leonard? No, that's the old guy, isn't it?
No, it's not Fat Neil.
I pitch guy. No, no, this is not the quickest way to do this.
What would you say it was? Quickest way?
I'd say not scrolling through the season 6 minor characters of Community when he was a recurring full list character. There you go. Garrett. His name was Garrett.
Garrett, yes, that's right.
Interesting. Like a Goodman. But yeah, it does happen a lot. And there's also some great colour work in that those four. The Anarchy segment of that page when she is playing the jazz uses colours to express chaos, which is great.
Indeed.
Let's burn this mother down!
Well, she doesn't even say it. That's the woman that Garrett loves, right? Or Neil loves her, right? Neil loves her, doesn't he?
I think it's Garrett, isn't it, Vicky?
I'm pretty sure it's Neil.
Great scene.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's the exact same thing, and I like that.
We don't see the destruction, though.
No, but I like that Largo also has two henchmen that have never been seen before or presumably since, except
Music
for in this
henchman,
panel.
exactly.
The next page is we've cut to the news and it's Kent Brockman explaining the scene. That was the scene last night at Springfield Elementary as Miss Simpson was ushered from the stage. This has made the local news. So it
Yeah,
must have been quite the event.
a quiet
A
news
brawl,
day.
yes, unless it was particularly dramatic of a brawl. A brawl erupted in the audience between rival music factions. It lasted a full 20 seconds, ending when somebody announced free coffee and donuts in the outer hall. And then Homer depressed now about this. Ah, Marge, I told you we shouldn't have gone after Lisa. We missed the donuts.
We did indeed miss the donuts.
And in the kitchen, Lisa is just depressed once again, staring at possibly cereal, possibly porridge. Lisa, I know you're upset about the disaster, I mean the incident last night, but it's Saturday, says friendly Marge. Why don't you go with Bart to the mall and have some fun? Which is a terrible suggestion.
Terrible suggestion.
And Lisa likes this terrible suggestion. Okay, there's something I need to do at the mall anyway.
What do you think it
So,
is?
buy a saxophone accessory, probably. Get the lead out, Lisa. You walk like my old lady, says Bart to Lisa. And Lisa says, I'm telling Mom you said that, which I enjoy. And then we are at the mall with prominent Richard and Millhouse once again. Hey Bart, Noiseland is premiering the new Itchy and Scratchy game. It's called Mortal Bombcat, which I like.
Yes.
And, Richard says, why is your sister carrying a machine gun? Bart says, she's just weird. Come on. Lots of fun. I like this delve into Richard.
Yeah, there's a lot of Richard here. Yeah, so then Lisa is angered by this lack of story. Machine gun, what a bunch of jerks. This saxophone may as well be a weapon for all the pain it's caused me. She continues in a way where nobody's listening either inside the story or outside. Think I've had my fill. Thank you very much. If I can't play it my way, then I will play it no more forever. And she says, I hope Mr. Krantz at King Tut's music store can use a good previously owned saxophone. But then she sees Chintzy Quincy's discount recording studio. If it's recordable, it's affordable. Record music your way. And she goes, what the what? And she's firing arrows almost from her eyes. And the floors are
Arrows.
all cold. And so she jumps in. She goes, wow, a recording studio. I can jam one last time and tape it for posterity. And she runs in and she waves, 3 minutes of recording, please. Unclaimed tape, Hendrix through Lennon. They have a little box down there, which is quite fun. Apparently, this is Elvis's first recording was one of these where he went in to record a song for his mother, as the story goes, and he got onto the radar of Sam. What's his name at Sun Studio? Squeaky
Indeed.
Voice Teen
Yeah, I
says,
think so.
"Okay, step into the booth, number one." Number one, but play when the red light goes on, stop when the red light goes off, have a pleasant jam. And then on the other side, he's got unclaimed tapes, Marley through Presley.
Nice. I stood in that spot where Presley recorded.
Really?
Probably not that song, but Ace. Yeah, I went to the studio.
You went to Sun Studio?
Possibly. I went to the one in America where
Memphis,
he did.
Tennessee.
Yes, and I stood on a square.
Nice. I went to Memphis, but for some reason I decided not to go to Sun Studio, which is ridiculous.
Exactly. It was a busy day.
Absolutely ridiculous.
It does
Yeah.
remind me of I imagine it goes significantly better on South Park as well, but when Cartman's hand, Jennifer Lopez, goes to one of these recording studios and the exact same thing happens, where he records a song and it becomes famous and he replaces the real J-Lo.
Right. Who does
Which will all become
Cartman?
clear. It's Cartman's hand, which is Mitch Connor,
Oh,
which will come much clearer in the Mitch Connor cast.
I've come
It's-
across Mitch Connor before, yeah. Like a flavor kisses.
Exactly, it's the exact same story, but I don't think this is where this is going. But it is
No.
definitely going down there. This is, people are going to love this recording route.
Of course, right. The only way it can go.
Exactly. So there's a schwuck as Lisa enters the recording studio, gets out her machine gun, which is actually a saxophone.
Yeah.
Shock. Throwing objects at the light will not get you more recording time, says the light. And then Lisa goes to town, having loads of jazz fun with lots of expression in her face, as much expression as they can really give, and goes wild.
Goes well.
And then the man says, "That's up, time's up, miss. Pick up your tape at the window." And she sighs as her fun is over. For some reason, she is selling this saxophone. there's a lot of thread holes here, to be honest. The fact that she's selling it because of what happened, which had nothing to do with the jazz, I don't think, or
No,
the playing of the instrument, and also King Tut's stories famously next to Moe's. In a town where all the buildings move, that is one of the only things that has not moved. So she didn't actually need to go to them all.
no, King Cooch is very clearly not in the mall. Whoa, it's Lisa Simpson, says Otto, absolutely blotto with his gang of ruffians with a very cool grey-haired drummer. Whoa, it's Lisa Simpson. Hi, Otto, what are you doing here? I'm cutting a new demo with my band, little lady. The Stones had our regular studio booked up. Go on into the booth number 1, Otto. I've already set up a usual supply of buzz coder and lard doodles. Amazing. It just takes us a couple of winks to get us discount recording time. Gulp, I've set up your tape as soon as I finish with a little girl. Gulp, says Squeaky Tooth, etc. And yeah, he's wowed by the lady in Otto's band, who throws him a kiss, and that's enough for them to get a discount. Click, we see as the tape is ejected from the machine. Excuse me, may I have my tape, please, sir? Aha, here you go. I've got it right here. And he hands what it looks like accidentally hands her a blank tape, and the squeaky toothed Boone is all lovesick from the woman from Otto's band, and he doesn't even notice it. He just says, "Don't mention it. Don't mention it."
Bad job. I like that page for many reasons. One of them, it's interesting to go immediately into the psyche of a woman we've never met before she even speaks a line of dialogue. Yeah, this entire page is Lisa. Well, Otto gets one line, and then just people we don't know, and it's issue 6. And we're in people we don't know, just having a general conversation in a recording studio.
Prime Bongo. We also didn't really need her to explain that, her winking and kissing had got her discount. It's sort of clear, right?
Yeah, it's quite obvious. Again, that doesn't even matter. It's simply just so this man is so distracted, he does not give Lisa the right tape. It didn't need to
Exactly.
explain her side of things, but
We
why
don't
not?
need
Is what I say.
65-page backstory of winking lady.
Yes. So I like Otto's cronies, though, or his bandmates. They're
Yeah,
quite an interesting bunch.
righteous, aren't they?
It's simply because Jimbo, Dolph, and Kearney are a bit too young to be Otto's friends.
Yes.
And we are in time before the existence of Shauna Chalmers, Maud's best friend. So that is why it is these strangers, I think.
Exactly.
And then we're sticking with Otto. We're at radio station KBBL. Here's our latest song, dude. It would be really cool to hear this one on your show. Remember what I said last time, Otto, says Radio Man, who I think actually was on the show. So this might be a non-Bongo character who's just been expanded, akin to Richard. You scratch my back, I'll scratch yours. There is a Wood Pulp 94 poster in the background. 2 days of geezers and greed, which I don't understand.
It's a reference to the Woodstock revival from the 90s, which was notoriously absolutely awful in every way.
I see. Excellent. And then we cut to No Problem Man. It's in the envelope with the tape. Later radio dude, says Otto, not having bothered to learn his name, which I enjoy. What a great job. I actually get paid to play records and I get to collect bribe money, says radio dude. What the? He has pulled out of the tape, pulled out of the envelope a tape and a scratchy back scratcher. What the? A Scratchy the Cat back scratcher. He's disappointed that he was not provided with drugs or money. And he throws it into the bin with a box of other mistakes from Otto, which includes green stuff, pre-packaged salad bits, payola candy bar, and bread, which are all euphemisms for other things that Otto comically did not understand.
Money, basically. They're all euphemisms for sort of money, right?
Indeed, he's doing a bad job. Oh well, I may as well play the tape. Otto's songs are always good for a laugh, says Radio Dude, who we're sticking with. This isn't too bad. It's the usual noise, but with a bluesy new twist. A unique new blend of speed metal and jazz. Speed jazz. No, wait.
Redacted just in case.
I don't think this may have been 1994.
Is that because the Otto's song is also on the tape, or is this really just like Lisa's solo saxophone has somehow made him think that it's metal?
I think given that Otto's prominence on the cover makes me think that somehow both of these songs have been recorded over each other, and that is
Ah.
what's happening. I don't even think that's a thing, though, is it?
I mean, it is possible, but you'd have to have the right kind of machine. And but this is Bongo World. So we cut to Lisa. She puts the tape in her Malibu Stacy tape player back at home. And meanwhile, it's blank. The man at the recording studio must have given me the wrong tape. Mom, I need a ride to the mall. It's an emergency, as Penis Hermod is literally sucking Homer's nose into her vacuum cleaner with a snort. Homer says,
Ching,
Kajing. Is
he
that
said,
not her name?
Maud.
Did I? Good Lord.
Yes,
After a wordy explanation, and my tape is still at the studio, and I've sold my saxophone. That recording is all that's left of my shattered dream. So she sold the saxophone off camera. All right, Lisa, let's relax and put on some music. Life is futile, my world turning black. I clip my toenails, but they keep growing back. That song is awful. I'll change the station. No, wait, that's my music. That was Otto and the Screaming Whiners as we are in driving in the car to the mall. Lisa says, Otto came to the studio after me. The technician must have left the tape in the machine and combined Otto's song with my sax solo to the radio station, Mom, and step on it. Minutes later, I got to see the DJ. He was playing my tape. Sure, honey. You know, I was the fifth Beatle. Go on, beat it, says the woman,
one.
the somewhat haggard woman at the station.
This issue, more than anything, is very much expanding the world of Springfield, which
Very
is
much.
nice. We've seen some real G-listers. Anyway, yeah, the music is being played to the rest of town as well. Life is so futile, my head's in despair. Use my girlfriend's shampoo, it turned out to be no.
That's a Cockney Watchdog lyric right there.
It is.
No.
We're in a familiar territory now. We're in the garden of the Flanderses, and Neddy is hedge trimming, which is nice, and he's known to do so.
Beg your
I
pardon.
know I know this music must be the tool of the devil, but that sax riff is just freaking heavenly, says Ned in his. Oh, he doesn't say it in his head, he says it out loud to himself. Golly, did I just say the F word? And his eyes are shaking that he's that stunned that music had such an effect on him.
Unbelievable.
Then we cut to Bob in prison, which this is, as I've pointed out many times with guest voices, this is just what they can do.
Oh, yeah.
Life is futile, there's no reason to be. I wonder if heaven has cable TV. The song continues. Bob says, it certainly isn't Gilbert and Sullivan, but it's as off-scourings go, or off-scorings, I'm not sure. It's not too malodorous. Stop it, Bob. And the tattoo man, very much like me, has 3 question marks in his mouth. Yes, that means I like it, says Angry Bob, who is getting a Death to Bart tattoo, of which he already has a German version.
The Bart,
Exactly. And now we're at the school, and it's time for Lewis to take centre stage instead of Richard. He is being beaten up by Jimbo. Life is so futile, it's hopeless, it's bleak. Radioactive Man is dead, but he'll be back next week. That is a good line. Wow, man, that music's making me feel all gooey inside. The way I used to feel when my mommy would warm my jammies in the dryer before putting them on me. And then Jimbo snaps back around to Lewis. Says, you better forget you heard me say that, wimp. And then just continues to leather him, probably.
Look at that pemming and scamming going on in Jimbo Jones's eyes
Oh, yeah, everybody's all over the place this week.
as he reminisces. They call it
Redacted just in case.
music, and it has taken music critics and fans alike by storm.
Redacted just in case.
I can only assume that it isn't as offensive and maybe means something else in America.
I think the context remains the same. They simply did not know. Of course, all of this will be go tell it on the mountain.
Yeah, no. Over the top. Maybe in American English. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, you can go tell all this stuff. Anyway, we are going to it's taken the music critics and the fans alike by storm, and we see even the Jazz Hall, Springfield's oldest cultural establishment, is getting with the program. We see they've taken down the Jet, established in 1987. I guess that's a joke because Springfield's oldest cultural establishment is only like 4 years old at that point, of whatever, 7 years old.
Indeed.
Springfield's oldest cultural establishment, yes, absolutely. Then we have come back to Brockman, and this is the man to thank, one Mr. Otto Main of Otto and the Screaming Whiners, and we have a really cool Otto image in which he has "Wash Me" written on his hand as he's kind of talked to the hand in the stock photo. Lisa,
I don't know how much of a I don't know how much of a fan of Lost you are, but that is very reminiscent of
Oh
Charlie's
yeah,
Not Penny's Boat moment.
that's right. Yeah,
Nice. I like that a lot.
that's right. Yes, it is indeed. Not Penny's boat, no
And it
apostrophe.
certainly was not.
Well, we'll get to that with the inevitable lost cast. But
Oh, yes.
we come back to Lisa, who is absolutely raging. It is he alone who is responsible for the hit song Smells Like Futility, which launched
Redacted just in case.
Mania. Interesting that Smells Like Teen Spirit, I think, was 94. Was it something like that? Maybe a bit earlier.
Very on the precipice of culture then.
Maybe earlier than that. Smells Like Teen Spirit, all right, 91. So yeah, well
That's
earlier.
that's
And
more that's more akin to The Simpsons. And it's
very
a
much
few years later.
3 years behind. Tony's band may be seen performing the monster hit at Springfield Coliseum tomorrow night as they kick off their big tri-county futility tour. Lisa raging. First, my plane was met with censorship and humiliation. Now it's responsible for a mega hit record and nobody will leave me. I think it's time I had words with a certain former bus driver. Ding, ding, ding.
She is right, and as much as they don't know that this has happened, she is absolutely within her rights to be angry.
Oh, absolutely. They clearly know that while listening to the song that they didn't play that saxophone over the top of it.
Indeed, and I feel like the audience soon are going to realise. But anyway, the following evening at the Coliseum. Thanks for driving us, Dad. Don't forget to pick us up at 10. You'll remember the location, won't you? Says Lisa to first appearance Homer.
Second,
Yes.
he got a Hoover stuck on his nose a few pages back.
Oh, yes.
And he was also in the
Spring-
very first couple of frames being in the audience.
Oh, yeah. This is his first line, though, I believe.
This
No,
is
it's not. He's already spoken to Marge.
his first third line.
Yes, his third or fourth line. Yes, Springfield Mausoleum. See ya. Must get to Moe's. It's pickled orca night. Okra?
Okra, the vegetable.
No, not orca, which would have been more in line with Mo. And then he speeds off, doesn't care about the kids. I hope you feel up to walking home, says Lisa, comically knowing her father will let her down. And the headline is for Otto and the Screaming Whiners, also Saxmania, a tribute to Boots Randolph, which is probably why Lisa is there. I know she also wants to speak to Otto, but this is probably not the time.
That's exactly why she's there. She's going to confront, what's his name?
His name is Otto, but you can't confront someone in the middle of a gig. Like, there's feasibly no way of her getting to him.
Why don't you read the next panel?
Inside, we're just in time, says Lisa, even though they are already on stage and play music, so it's too late. After the concert, I'll confront Otto and admit him to get him to admit the truth. So Lisa's saying we're just in time is wrong because they only need to be there after the concert. What she should have said is we're early.
We're early.
Anyway,
Well, look.
Otto's on stage singing along. Life is
Yeah.
so futile, it's sad and gloomy. Just give me a coffin that's nice and roomy, which is fun. And then in the
Yeah.
audience, yo, this don't sound like the song on the radio. Yo, that's an astute observation. I do believe you're correct, say these two sort of Kashmir and Larry-esque punk people.
The joke being that
Frink's
they're talking fancy.
Yes, exactly. Frink's there for absolutely no reason. Hey, Otto, you stink. Get off the stage, he shouts, which I like. And Otto is bombarded with foods of
Nachos.
different kinds as he is, yes, nachos, hot dogs. This is very reminiscent of another scene in The Simpsons.
Oh, yeah.
But luckily, he just falls to the floor.
Peppermint
He
scanning
shouts.
all the way.
Oh, yes. Lots of peppermint scamming this week. He shouts, yeah, but I don't think he means it in a positive way.
He
It's
shouts,
more like a
yeah. Shouting, yeah.
And then, yes, that is where we.
That is all she
Stand
murder,
Otto.
she wrote. What I would say here is that do you know who invented nachos?
Edison.
Edison Taco Bell.
I do not know invented nachos, do you?
Yeah, Taco Bell invented them.
Oh, did they really?
Yeah. No, that's not true.
Interesting.
The restaurant
think
at
so.
Disneyland invented them
Oh.
because they didn't want to throw away all of their old burritos. So what they started doing is deep frying them in little triangles and invented Doritos.
Nice. I like taco and a burrito.
The audience is listening and they don't like what they're hearing. The yang of Otto's song is without my complimentary yin from Lost, says Lisa in the audience, and the audience is getting angry. Poor Otto, says Bart. I wish we could help him. Then again, how often do you see a guy get to see a guy being pelted with munchies? Hold it. Behind the amplifier, a saxophone. The warm-up band must have left it behind. She literally jumps on the incompetent security guard's head and jump. Chances like this only occur in TV shows and comic books, she says in a self-referential point. And I do love how the Bongo crowd is this blue, one shade. It's a really good thing. But she jumps on stage, and Otto, covered in natural slime, shouts, "Oh, oh, wow," as if things weren't bad enough because he knows what's going to happen. And she just starts scrunking and honking the blues. And Krusty, Bumblebee Man, and One-Armed Herman shouts, "Oh, yeah, muy bueno. That's it, man. Boy, you're something," says Otto. "Yeah, wait till I tell you, and wait until I make enough money to buy my saxophone back. Then you're going to get more than you bargained for. I'm your doggone partner," she says.
This is wildly convoluted. Like, she didn't need. They could have cut out a lot of stuff if she just hadn't have sold her saxophone and was just at the mall for a different reason and saw that recording studio. Because now the entire thing is about her buying a saxophone back.
Oh, God.
And
Right.
like having to have a setup gag to say that the band before Otto was a jazz band so that there can be a saxophone on the stage. It's a lot.
That's
It's a lot to say she could have just not sold it and it hadn't have changed anything.
No, that's the twists and turns that we like in a bongo, though.
Indeed, and it seems that it's Otto and Lisa's fame has risen, as it says, this past week has been just fabulous. The celebrity parties, I'm going to assume this is Lisa speaking, but in like comic narration,
To the moon.
and she's at Otto and Lisa at a party with Krusty and Kent Brockman, who are sloshed, and then we have a Troy McClure's preteen soul machine, and all the band and Lisa are being interviewed by Troy,
Like a little
and
ratty Otto.
yes, and they're all cover girls. The high-profile gigs continues to think Lisa. All this is happening on the sort of an extended variant of the cover
Double page spread in it.
with with magazines sort of thrown over them. Jumbo Squishy,
Redacted just in case.
fantastic, says a magazine, and Otto and Lisa are both absolutely pemming and skemming everywhere and fighting over a squishy. The lucrative product endorsements, not to mention the freebies. And yeah, I like that. I like that fight between Otto and between Apu and a too far gone Lisa.
I was thinking to myself that I don't know if they could actually do a fun, cool drawing of Lisa. She doesn't seem to lend herself to that, but I think that's a pretty good go.
Yeah, I like that you can see it conveys well enough that she is beyond reason with these free squishies. And that Apu has simply had enough.
Too far gone. And we cut back to Lisa now now signing photographs of herself. And she's got a nice little no nuclear sticker and maybe the mouse from Itchy and Scratchy. Fan mail box she's got, and her mother's bringing it. And to think that I nearly tossed away my dream of becoming a professional musician. And she's got literally stars in her eyes. Now that I'm one of the screaming whiners, I have everything I've always wanted: fame, money, and best of all, the admiration of my peer group. Marge says, "That's nice to hear, but I'm not sure being a rock star is a healthy occupation for a second grader. I saw some former child stars on daytime TV, and they all talk about how they grew up to be drug addicts, bank robbers, and cartoonists." I don't know if that's a reference to one of those guys. Don't worry, Mum, I
Be a
can handle
shot at
the...
MG.
You reckon? Was
Oh,
Groening?
yes.
Groening wasn't a child star, was he?
No, but I think it's just saying, being a cartoonist is akin to being a drug addict or a bank robber. So it's not a proper job.
I guess.
The irony being that is exactly their job.
That is exactly the job, isn't it? Don't worry, Mum, I can handle the pressure. Besides, those kids didn't have a mom like you. Oh, what a sweet thing to say. Now, why don't you put those pictures away and get ready for bed? You're right. I need plenty of rest for our big closing show in Capital City tomorrow, setting up the rest of the story, given that basically nothing has happened so far other than that recording.
Or will continue to happen, is my guess.
Yes.
In a very, again, we're in comic book world and it's issue 6. And they've gone for the most approachable on television. You could film this as a live action sitcom episode so far. There has been absolutely nothing to justify it being a comic book story.
No, it's a very, very mild version of the A Star is Born story.
Yes, but compared to the last issue, which was literally everybody became supervillains.
Oh yeah, that was good.
And now we have Lisa and Otto Toofer. And anyway, it is time. The next evening at the Megadome in Capital City. The house is really filling up, Otto, says Lisa to Otto. I think I see some very big people in the front row, she says once again to Otto. All right, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and the Jolly Green Giant got my invitations. It's a fun. I like that about Otto. No, I'm
That's right.
talking about record company executives. She says, if we can get a recording contract with a major label, and then you'll never guess who's going to appear, just shy of his appearance in the Christmas cast. What's
Yeah.
happening, little sister?
Gasp.
Gasp.
It's my musical mentor, Bleeding Gums Murphy. Why is he still alive?
This must be 1994. There we go, we've timed it because I believe he died roughly 95, 96. But yeah, we
So,
did have that thing with Maudie where she continued to make comic appearances for
yeah.
quite maybe like a year or so after her death, and then it
Did
just changed to where she was dead within the comic universe.
did Bleeding Gums really appear like alive several times? I thought he died in his first appearance.
No, we did a full episode about him like 2 months ago. No, he was in it
Hey,
like semi-regularly for like like backgroundy for the
right,
first 6 seasons. Well, he spoke once, and
right.
his second big appearance was his death.
Okay.
So
What
I'm
was his
believing
first
this
big
fits
one?
in somewhere between the Lisa Jazz one
Oh, is the Lisa
when
Jazz
they
one
play
not?
jazz
He
together
doesn't die
on the
in the
bridge.
Lisa Jazz one?
No, you should go back and watch our very own podcast that you're a part of that
Veto,
covers everything in detail.
veto.
But yeah, no, so this has got to be somewhere in between. Or maybe he had died and this had already been written, as with the Maud stuff.
Indeed, and more too late. The Bleeding Gums too late. So it is Bleeding Gums Murphy, and she gasps, "It's my musical mentor." And she gives him a big hug and shouts, "You've come all the way to Capital City just to tell me how proud you are, right?" Not exactly. You see, I'm here to tell you how disappointed I am in you. Your music, a great face forward, Bleeding Gums as well. Your music used to have so much soul. Now it seems to me you just sold out. Sure, you got fame and money, but what good is that if you ain't got your true artistic vision? Wow, you're right. It's so clear. Otto's music was never right for me. I've just been using the opportunity to gain the acceptance that I've always desired. Otto, I know this is last minute, but to salvage my self-respect, I'm going to quit the band. That's bogus. What do we do without a horn player? And Bleeding Gums, a man with no integrity, shouts, "I'm happy to sit in with you. Hey, what about that speech you gave me about artistic vision? Artistic vision is a groove if you can afford it, but I got to pay the bills. Come on, Otto, let's rock." And her mentor, Bleeding Gums, is essentially hoodwinked her out of her living.
Yeah, usurped her out of her life,
Later, later,
which was
little
great, a
mama,
great
says
turn.
Otto. Yeah.
And we didn't cover any of this in the Bleeding
No.
Gums cast. I did find this out very shortly after the Bleeding Gums cast, though, that this would be happening in our next Bongo.
Ah.
I didn't realise that the context of what he did. And it's very similar to Flossie Murphy, his cousin. His
Yeah.
cousin.
They're
And
both just selling out The Simpsons.
indeed, the only sort of or the comic bit of this, or the comic book bit of this, is that the fame and fortune that comes with this sort of life is just completely overlooked. Like it hasn't changed the Simpsons' life. They don't appear to have gained any money, but they're
No.
like selling out stadiums in the capital city.
Yeah, it does skirt over that a little bit. The appearances and stuff is they spent more time on her having to buy her saxophone back than any of the kind of like, the spirals of fame.
Yeah, which again has already been, even within the story, just completely easily achieved off camera. Like, there's
Absolutely.
no way she didn't have the money already to buy that saxophone back or buy a better saxophone.
I hope somebody lost an etc. for that.
Exactly. Now we are on the following week. Come on, Lisa, the buzz is here, and Lisa's just back to a terrible life. Keep your chin up, Lisa. Quitting that band was the right thing to do, and I'm very proud of you. Once again, no one really has, other than prejudice, has a reason that Lisa should quit this band. They're
No,
not doing, there's no insinuation that they're living like a hardcore rock and roll lifestyle. Like, Otto's quite clearly still driving buzzes, so it doesn't make sense. I know, Mom, but I can't help feeling like the parade has passed me by, says Lisa as she wanders off to school. Otto, what are you doing driving the buzz again? Says Lisa to Otto, who is driving the buzz again. We talked to those record company dudes after the show. They told us
Redacted just in case.
is out. The new thing is a fusion of rap and mambo. It's called Rambo. We tried to get into it, but those ammo belts kept getting caught on my whammy bar.
beg your pardon.
Well, it was great while it lasted, says a very, very complicit Lisa. Not completely. She's just fine. You can still look at Ralph. Ralph and that girl with the tiny eyes.
That's a proper graining bongo, isn't it?
Oh yes. You can still blow a mean sax, little lady, which was never in question. And then Bart is frustrated with the dialogue Hey, Otto man, let's get this heap of junk moving. Right you are, Bart dude, let's rock and roll. And that is it. That is the end of the story.
That is the end.
There's
He screeches away, and that's all she murder she wrote.
exactly that is as of now. We should start ranking these bongos. I beg your pardon. And starting with this at number 6.
I won't be able to remember all the bongos. I can barely remember what happened in the last one, the superhero one. No idea what happened in bongos 1 to 4.
No, but either way, this is 6.
It's not a great bongo, absolutely. We could rank it out bongos out of bong. Bongs out of
Yes.
go.
1 out of 7.
1 out of 7. It's just a very generic story where she, again, like the South Park did it. Like I think it's a very common trope. She records a song, somebody finds it by accident. I'm pretty sure those kind of Whizzer and Chips, Buster Beano style ones must have done that story at like once a month, where somebody goes to record and then it accidentally gets into the hands of somebody else and makes them a star, and then easy come, easy go. Will you let me go, Bismillah?
Exactly. It also feels, compared to the other bongos we've looked at, I think super short. Like it's definitely not a full length story.
I think that's more to do with our probably we skimmed over a little bit more because there's less in the story. It was that we both were very, very clear on what was going to happen in this story from the very start. And it
That's
was
true.
pretty light on twists and turns.
It does feel like most stories tend to have a beginning, middle, and end, and this feels like an entirely middle. Like we started in the middle of a story and we ended in the middle of a story.
Well, that Millhouse like acting thing was brilliant. A brilliant start. Definitely one of the best bongo openings so far.
I will give you that, but it does not feel like the start of a story.
No, no, no. It's a cold opening essentially, isn't it? Or a little like preamble, whatever you want to call it.
Freezing opening.
But anyway, that takes us to the backup story, which is a El Barto. It's a fake #1 Chief Wiggum's pre-code crime comics in the style of those 1950s kind of crime comics from EC, from those kind of people. And on the front cover, we see El Barto, a fake graining S Vance cover. Chief Wiggum. The paint is still wet on the El Barto, but in the background we see Snake escaping from the penitentiary, and whether or not that is simply a funny reference or whether or not that is going to be a part of the story, only time will tell.
It's much better than the actual cover of the issue.
Yeah, and this is a shorter one, but it's this is a 5-pager. But yeah, take it away. What we got?
It starts off phenomenally with a little Snake and little Bart being overlooked by huge officers Wiggum, Eddie, and Lou.
Yeah, that's
And
a
they're
definite reference to something, but I don't know what it is exactly.
Yeah.
Classic noirish.
It's just phenomenal. To see characters of a lower. That's my favorite thing about Bongo, is to see these characters like Richard or Eddie and Lou designed in such a fun, arty way that you would never really see them get this kind of limelight on
Oh,
the
it's
show.
beautiful. It's beautiful. And I'm glad
believe-
that of all the people in the world, we are the two that get to talk through every bongo panel just for
Exactly.
fun. Nobody else is allowed to do it. Now,
And
yeah.
it's 6 out of 200. We are
That's just the Simpsons comic itself before you start getting into all of the others. Oh no, we've
It's the
got
100
bongos
issues.
for years.
Oh yes. I believe there's a bit of dialogue above where this issue is called The End of El Barto.
There is. This is the blurb that you always get at the beginning of those kind of comics setup.
Hello. Exactly, the setup it certainly is. Hello to all you young comic book readers. Police Chief Wiggum here to give you the inside poop on one of the toughest cases in my long and illustrious career in law enforcement. This particular bad guy was both slippery and resourceful, but his luck ran out, as it does for all criminals. So if you're ever tempted to cheat on a test, or knock over a convenience store, or in any other way break the rules of our society, just remember, ... the end of El Barto.
Let that be a message lesson to the rest of you nuts.
Exactly. And we're back with the Bavington Vances.
Well, this is a Vance joint. It's not got what Bill, whatever his name was, writing
Got a day
it.
off.
Yes, so Bill Morrison is taking a back seat, and Vance is writing and drawing this, and his good lady wife and her sister Cindy is
Yes, our mother.
Barrington and Vance doing it all, but they don't tell us which Vance.
No, well, it does. It says Steve
Oh yeah,
specifically.
yeah.
And then, oh yeah, so we move on from that phenomenal first image to Wiggum with Burns and Smithers. This sordid tale began when I was called to the mansion of Montgomery Burns, owner of the Springfield nuke plant and leading contributor to the Policeman's Recreational Fund. Burns' assistant, Wayland Smithers, reported that one of Mr. Burns' cars was missing after the power plant employees' annual mandatory picnic. It's a lot of words.
Oh yeah.
All this fuss over that old piece of junk. I would have thought Nuke Boy could afford a new car, says Wiggum. Our system of justice is in the hand of cretins, says Burns accurately. That's Mr. Burns' prized Bugatti Royale, valued at $9.8 million, says Smithers. And it is it's just a loose pencil sketch of Brum, but in a different colour. Oh, sure, I knew that, says Wiggum with no teeth. Hey, Chief, says Lou off panel. It looks like your old nemesis Alberto left his calling card, and there is an Alberto on the wall, and Fatty Wiggum is walking over. So he's graduated to hot cars now, eh? I always knew experimenting with graffiti would lead him to the harder stuff.
Good Lord. I think it's a setup, though, isn't it? Good Lord, look.
Yes.
Look,
His eyes are
look
terrible.
look at the eyes on these two. What's this guy called again? Lou.
Lou, and they always give him like Popeye arms, which is strange. Like,
It is a fun one. That is a horrendously bad drawing of
super bad.
Burns says, you'll see to it that my auto is returned intact, Chief. That is if you want your departmental retirement fund to remain solvent. Gulp. Let's roll, says toothless Wiggum. Does Wiggum always have no teeth?
No, it's strange that they make the decision to give some of these characters teeth and others not.
50-50, more or less. It'll be a pleasure calling Alberto a creep. Nailing that Alberto creep. This time it's personal. Wow, you really want to take down Alberto after what he did to your young partner last time, huh? Imagine a graffiti inside his locker at the station house. The poor guy got laughed off the force. Knock it off, guys. It's still too painful, says Clancy. Clancy's teeth have returned as he shouts, calling Central. Come in, Central. Chief, we've been trying to reach you. The hardened criminal in a snake broke jail 2 hours ago and he's armed and dangerous. Let him wait. I want an APB out on Alberto. Take a gander, Chief. That spray paint on the Quickie Mart dumpster looks fresh. I didn't think they used gander in America at school. And Clancy says, maybe we can pick some clues inside along with a few raisin swirl pastries. Ha ha ha. Oh my gosh, we're too late. Looks like spray pan guy must have been. And we see what we can only imagine are Apu's feet in a pool of blood, but no. Looks like Spray Can Boy beat us here. Apu must have known too much, so Alberto rubbed him out. I guess we can add a new charge to that rap sheet. Murder 1. Dun, dun, dun.
I like the irony, obviously, but the boldness to think for this to have actually worked, to have killed off Apu in a second story comic issue.
Oh yeah,
would have been fantastic.
I'm not buying this, says the comic fan, the average comic fan.
No, or the simpleton would gasp and say, Apu is dead.
Gasp, Apu is dead. Mother, Apu is dead. Can you believe this, Mother?
I will not turn the page. Chief, look, he's okay, says Eddie, with his teeth. And is that the car they're looking for in the car park?
It certainly looks like it, but that'll be Snake, right?
Oh, yes, of course. Oh, woe is me. I slipped and shattered this container of syrup. My paycheck will be reduced to compensate for the loss, says Apu in my accent. Unless, perhaps I can mop up a sufficient quantity to refill the machine. Says,
genuine laughter.
Costly Apu.
Genuine Bongo laugh.
Yes, it's hitting some home runs, this issue, in terms of comedy.
Far between.
We headed out into the night again, says Wiggum, as in the background Snake now is holding Apu at gunpoint. The Quickie Mart had yielded no new leads, but my cop's 6 cents told me we were close. We hit the all-night hardware store to see if there'd been any unusual paint purchases this evening. This led us to a nearby auto body shop. This is probably Alberto's hot car drop. They repaint them and drive them across the state line to sell. I'll bet Burns's jalopy is in there right now. And Wiggum just smashes through the doors with his legs. Freeze, this is the police. And Eddie looks quite concerned with this behaviour in that panel.
Awful Clancy.
Yes, his tiny little legs.
Yeah.
Whoa, says a returning Otto for the second story. No need to get pushy, cop dudes. Just bring your wheels on in. He's almost done with mine. Cool her. This'd look awesome on your cop mobile. And there's a man just graffiti tattooing Otto's buzz. Chief, check this out.
With like a
The
He-Man style character. It's pretty cool.
Yes, it is quite fun. It would have been fun if it was a reference to the first story,
Oh yeah,
but it's not.
but
The
it is not.
paint's still wet. He must be nearby, says Lou, as there's Alberto is once again on the wall. I've got a hunch he went down this alley, says Wiggum, just running off into the shadows. Come on. What, Chief, look out, says Lou, in an attempt to save Wiggum's life or something.
And very cool kind of noir, kind of a spiral thing as he jumps. Suddenly the world turned upside down. A black pool opened at my feet and I dove in, or is that dived in? I tried to warn you, Chief. It's just a misdirect. It's nothing mystical at all. There's a mighty big puddle there. Hey, look! As Wiggum is face down in a puddle of mud, and we see Snake running from the back door of the bank. It's Snake coming out the back door of the bank. Gee, they've really extended their business hours. Say this graffiti spree started the same time as Snake brought jail. All the pieces fit. Man, I think we got a man, Snake, alias El Barto. Haha, you'll never catch me, coppers, as he jumps over the fence. Ah, give me a boost here, boys. But hey, oof, and then comedically they all fall on top of each other. Okay, I've got a better idea. Let's go around the block and cut him off. Pretty nice set of three pictures there.
Yeah, I very much like that angle of like you can kind of just see Wiggum's eye, and like it's just a bit of a mess of an image, but it makes sense from that angle.
Yes.
In a similar way to Face Forward Simpsons, where they just look wrong.
They are wrong in all the right ways.
Exactly. This story so far has much more energy and thrill than the A story of the issue.
Yeah, and they're also got only 5 pages to wrap it up, so it's pretty. There's not a lot of padding or splash pages.
Now we follow Snake, who has continued to run off, and he's bumped into Bart, who is in fact Alberto. They both do question marks at each other, and then Snake seemingly chokes the boy, but we don't know that yet. Which in this instance is played as sinister, but when his dad does it, it's hilarious.
Not
and
funny.
Then when they're running, Chief and Eddie and Lou are making some good progress. They're running towards the alley where the graffiti is happening. There's Burns' car. We've got Snake cornered, and it is in fact Burns' car. They run around the corner and Snake is covered in blood. Looks like the darn spray can backfired on him. Oh, it's spray paint. How ironic that Alberto's career is ended by the very device with which he wrought so much havoc, says Wiggum quite eloquently.
Oh, yeah.
It wasn't me. It was that punk kid, says Snake, who'll probably have some genuine repercussions from getting spray paint in his eyes.
Yeah.
Sure, Snake, sure. Let's go, says Wiggum. And they arrest him because he's
strange that he doesn't have a Sideshow Bob's revenge kind of thing. The two of them going out together for revenge on Bart.
Yes, that would have been quite nice, but I think it would have required a 6th and maybe 7th page, and they couldn't have possibly cut any of the fat from the A story. It's the best part of any case when you snap the cuffs on the guilty party and he's helpless in the grip of the long arm of the law. So you can taunt him all you want, thinks Wiggum. You've got nothing on me, coppers. You can't make this bust stick, says Snake confidently to say he did steal that car.
Biggie boss.
That's what you think. Exactly. That's what you think thanks to your previous convictions and our state's new 3 strikes law. 1 count of felony wall writing is good enough to put you away for good. Again, dismissing the stolen car. Nice work, boys. That Eddie's great. Talk about nailing 2 jailbirds with 1 stone. Not only is Snake back behind bars where he belongs, but I have a hunch we won't be seeing any more of El Barto for a long time, as Bart hilariously sprays it on the back of the police van.
Good Lord. Will nothing stop that boy?
And Snake looks furious. And that wraps up the issue.
Yeah. What's your overall thoughts then on this issue of Bongo, issue 6?
It was certainly an issue with Bongo that I feel like would have been more apt at around issue 70. It is certainly not. If you had a big list of stories to cover, this would not make my top 10. But that just, it's comforting. It's like when a TV show has like 22 episodes, so you know you're just going to get some slower, character-y looks, which tend to be my favourites because they'll focus on a character nobody else cares about.
Oh, yeah.
So, had you changed out Otto for a character I really liked, that was more obscure,
Yes.
this would have been a winner of an issue for me. Like if that had been like Luan up there or, I don't know, Manjula, Wendell, one of the background gang, then yeah,
Yeah.
this would have worked for me a lot more. But they did a lot of Otto stuff early on and they did a lot of Lisa saxophone stuff early on. So there's nothing that isn't old ground here. And
Yeah.
but I like the Wiggum stuff very much. I like the B story and some great art, some great use of characters like Richard.
Yeah.
But
It's some
overall,
really off character, especially Lou, and some great pemming and skemming. So all in all, even a mediocre Bongo is still a hell of a ride.
yeah, it would have been had I purchased this at the time and this had been my bongo of the month to read, I would not have been disappointed in any way.
You would have lapped
But
it
I
up.
maybe would have wanted more, such as
Um,
the family being like trapezeists or something.
the inevitable circus issue coming
Yes.
in issue 7, which at our current pace will probably be in about 6 months' time.
And I'm looking forward. There's a cover around issue 20 that is one of my favorites where everybody has Margie's hair.
Nice. Everyone's gone penis herd.
Exactly. So I'm looking forward to that one. There's some great, from just immediate memory, there are some cool things we're going to be looking at in the world of Bongo.
Looking forward to
Unfortunately
it.
for this issue, this was one of the yes, the lower energy numbers, if you will.
Yes,
As you should.
as we did. But
What do you think, Bongo Butler? What do you
well,
would you rank it?
it's not for me to judge the issues. I just bring them out. Is it ready to go back into the archive, my masters?
Yes, you may reseal it and put it back into the underground comic dungeon you own. There we go.
Okay,
There's a new building for Twin Peaks.
I'll take it back into the underground comic dungeon, and I'll start prepping issue 7 for you. Just give me a shout whenever you're ready. Bye.
Goodbye. We'll plug you back in 5 weeks. We'll see you again in 28 years.
Bye bye, Bongo Butler. Bye bye, everyone. The end.
Goodbye.